Levi Lawrence again went bang, and he chucked in another post on Crap Solar. Just doing a re-roof and found this bad boy, ingenious, or you can read the word. What do we think there?
Is that
just while we're here, just to
joiner,
clarify, is there swearing on this show, or?
Well, Jack already dropped a few. Like, we sort of try to keep it PG-ish. Like, we're not.
I probably wouldn't say the F word, but you could say, or the C word. You could say, like, shit and stuff.
Okay, because I think even if you say shit, I think now that you have to have a warning at the start for 18 or over or something on YouTube now, so you may as well just go all out. Really,
because you can select it made for kids, which I have in the first episode. Obviously, episode 2 is not made for kids. We'll have to.
Is this going to turn up on my kids' YouTube for kids? Is that?
Well, we're just trying to reach a bigger market. It's just getting a message out there. But yeah, I'll make sure episode 2 is not made for kids.
Well, it's book week next week, so maybe we should dress up for the next episode for the kids then.
Because you're the novelist, like you're the one reading all the books in your previous job.
True.
Any favorites there?
I wasn't into fiction. I was more into like self-help books and stuff like that, the boring stuff.
Anyways,
that's the rail joiner.
Yeah, that's the joiner. I think that's a Titan. I think that's Titan from looking at it. Yeah, obviously they've realized that the joiner needed to be there at the same time as the tile interface.
How long do you reckon that will last?
Nah,
it's just a bit baffling how when you work out where your rail is going, where the end of the rail is. Yeah.
I mean, there's 2 key failure points, really. I mean, the point of, attachment to the tile foot, but that's not even attached. But then you got the join of the rails too. So, that thing's going to be, I'd love to see an updated photo in a year's time.
So like I said before, the inspectors and stuff, Jack, how it's mandatory for Solar Vic. Like most of the other states are probably going to move that way as well. So meaning a lot more of this stuff shouldn't be coming to light. Yeah.
Yeah, I just really hope that the auditors or the inspectors, are looking under the hood as well. Obviously, in Vic they look for cable management, make sure there's no stray cables hitting the roof. And whatnot, I'd really hope they'd see that. I'm hoping that's not, the only one on that row.
That's not the only one, or the only one.
Well, I hope it's the only one for the sake of the system, but for the sake of an audit, I hope there's other ones. It'd be good to see if there was more of this ingenious on the rest of the array.
So if Levi gets up on the roof, right? Or just anyone generally, if they're going back to someone else's dodgy install to fix up something or expand on the system or whatever it might be, do they generally report this sort of stuff?
What, to who?
Crap Solar is like the reporting, I guess.
Crap.
Well, that is the question. Is there someone you can report this to?
Generally,
it'll follow it up and say, okay, who did the original install? Let's go back to them and chase this up, or not really?
Yeah, there's channels to do it. It's quite rare you'd get a full
if it's for example it's an ASR from the CEC.
ASR is it's really geared towards the end user. Mm-hmm. So there's a clear passage of complaint for the end user and people like me who complain a lot about dodgy companies. And normally I do get a response. So as customers would have a good avenue there, in my experience. If you're an installer, I know me and a few other solar cutters have lodged a lot of complaints to ESV and CSE. So we simply just drop them in the same email to ESV if it's in Victoria. That's Energy Safe Victoria, and the Clean Energy Council as well. And just hope something gets done about it. But it's just it's just a bit unfortunate that a lot of this stuff, obviously, it's a bit of a piss take, but nothing will genuinely happen with it unless it's a full, rip it off the roof and reinstall. The customer wants the whole thing replaced, but a lot of this stuff, nothing happens, or they try the best they can to rectify it on the day, but they can't fix the whole install.
Well, now ESV and CC, they don't have to go and scour through all the posts on the Facebook group. They can just watch the cutter files.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching, this is a great example.
Yeah.
Of why there should be mandatory inspections. Not just nitpicking on, your labels, 1 degree out on your inverter are going to fail you. If you look under the roof, look at the cable management, you can see all this stuff under. So I just hope that if we did do mandatory inspections in each state, which I'm sort of supporter of, that they would, do a thorough inspection, not just a tick and flick or ping you for a label.
Also, I just hope that if anyone from either of those organizations is watching this episode of Cutter Files, remember to like and subscribe. That's very important.
Thanks, Sean.
And message Levi Lawrence to...
But it's obviously stuff solid cutters and a lot of us in the industry, us three especially, are passionate about. And if it means us assisting in collating some of these images and installations and sending them to these bodies, if things are actually going to get done and rectified, like that's all we all want at the end of the day.
So just on this post specifically, so he was doing a re-roof. So really it's probably been there for a while. And the only reason he's uncovered it because he's ripping up the array. So on the positive side, the system's probably been replaced and installed to the applicable Australian standards. But yeah, that's a funny one. I've never seen that before.
Re-roof, that term, what that means, they're just ripping off the old panels and putting on new ones, or?
Well, I'm assuming he's an electrician. So re-roof would be that maybe the customer's getting the roof replaced, or the ridge capping realigned, or getting an extension. So the roof has to come off. So
okay.
So the customer, I think, is called electrician to, remove the roof and put it, the system, and then put it back on after they've done the re-roofing.
Gotcha.
So hopefully it now, it'll be installed to the correct racking standard, I guess, whatever that is.
We can only hope.
No.
It'd be difficult to reinstall it back the way it was.
Yeah. If he did though, but that would void your engineering cert, wouldn't it, Sean? Or
that's not our gear.
No, but if it was Clenergy and you saw that.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't actually do that with Clenergy because the splice doesn't work like that, really. But you couldn't.
Oh, splice rail joiner, same thing.
Yeah, no, I don't like that either. Just use the one term.
So what's the term? Splice or joiner?
I've always said joiner, but you guys say splice. So
we're Sunlock kids. We're Sunlock kids, Sean. So
so splice is the one, yeah.
It was
splice is the ice cream. Like, why can you confuse it? Like,
we're Sunlock kids, so SLRJ was always Sunlock rail joiner.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it's a joiner for you.
Well, for me, it's rail joiner, and for a long time, I even used to use the term base rail, not rail.
Oh yeah.
Until someone called me out on it, and then that was pretty embarrassing.
Mm.
All right, moving on. Yeah.
Great.
You can laugh about it now, though. That's the main thing.
Not really.
Look how far he's come.